Welcome to the Localpreneur Show, a podcast dedicated to featuring community-based entrepreneurs, the principles they live by, and the success they're having making a difference in the world. Here's your host, Austin Kane.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Localpreneur Show. Really excited to be here and have King Jones with us today as our featured guest on the show. King's with Pest Solutions out of Naugatuck, Connecticut. And sorry if I pronounced that wrong, King. But again, really excited that you're here today. And King, I'll turn it over to you here for a second, let you introduce yourself and your background, a little bit about who you are and you know what you guys do for work before we jump into today's episode.
Absolutely. It is a pleasure to be here. Hello to everyone, and my name is King Jones. I'm the CEO of CT Pest Solutions. I am also the president of the Connecticut Pest Control Association. Vice president of the Connecticut Pest Control Association, and the membership committee chairman of the Connecticut Pest Control Association as well. I'm involved in the National Pest Management Association as well. And I've been in the pest control industry since 2000. Started off as a technician, did some administrative work, and ended up back on the field and started our business back in 2014.
Very nice, very nice. You've been doing this a while. You're involved in a lot of different organizations. Obviously, probably making an impact and difference in your community and all of these different buckets that you're kind of donating your time to. And really, King, that's what we're here to talk about today. The Localpreneur Show, for those of you maybe listening for the first time or just giving you a refresher, the Localpreneur Show is all about highlighting these local home service businesses, how they're making a difference in their communities, whether they're giving back to their communities, whether they're doing special projects, or they're just giving some of their time outside of their normal service work that they typically do. They're changing the lives of the people around them. They're making a difference. They're making the world a better place in the cities and the areas that they serve. And so that this podcast is about sharing those stories. So King, we'll start with how you guys are really making a difference in your community. Tell everybody a little bit about the impact that your organization makes, really just kind of on a daily, weekly, or yearly basis. What are some of the things you guys are plugging yourself into and helping make a difference for the people around you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So part of the reason why I started CT Pest Solutions was to give back to the community, but also to give back to customers and employees and improve the quality of life for our customers, employees, and Connecticut residents altogether. And so our organization continues to provide a positive impact on a regular basis. And we hope to be a role model and an inspiration to the younger generation in our community. So we continue to inspire others by what we do here, by even small things. And I'm going to say practical. We give a practical impact on our community as well, because we are a small business and we just started. And I think a lot of individuals and organizations, they feel that they cannot impact or do anything to help the local community. So we've done some small things initially starting off, such as sponsoring a high school basketball team or sponsoring the high school football team. We support the local police department National Night Out, things like that. We just recently sponsored the Union City Little League. So sometimes little small things like that, I think, organizations and individuals may look over, but I think have a larger impact on the local community and the organization that you're supporting. So, like I said, we try to just continue to be a role model and be an inspiration, for the younger generation. And so you'll notice that a lot of what we have done on a local community basis has been geared more toward that younger age group and trying to show some inspiration and being that positive impact That's what we've done, locally. It's been inspiring, and it's been rewarding to be able to do the things that we do. And like I said, I started off as a technician, been in the pest control industry since 2000, and to just be in this seat and have the opportunity to be able to provide resources, and education and motivation and inspiration, to not just our employees, and to customers, but to the local community as well, is great. It's rewarding, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, partnering with, the youth and the little leagues, you're helping shape the minds of the people that are going to be, hopefully, 10xing what you're doing. Maybe they'll remember what you did, and 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road, that, they'll put even more effort into it and just help kind of continue to make the world a little bit better place. Just because maybe some of the things that you might be doing for them now. Keith, what made you guys want to partner with some of these organizations, or how did you come across them? Or, I know you said that, you enjoy kind of partnering with some of these other organizations that might get overlooked sometimes, but, what was it that really stuck out to you? Said, hey, I want to put my name on this organization and really help them succeed and grow to the next level.
Well, I mean, we ran into some of these organizations through some of your typical mediums, social media. We're part of we're really active in the community. So we get a lot of, reaching out to us in regards to some events that may be happening in the community, and they would love to see local businesses involved. But we just being around and being engaged and being involved with what's going on in your community. The food bank is another place locally that we donated some time and just handed out some food. Naugatuck Valley Soup Kitchen, we donate food during the holiday time there. The Connecticut Partnership for Children, we did a sponsorship there as well. And like I said, I think, once you start to do those things, you start to connect, with other organizations and charities, and you kind of you find your niche, or you find your organization that is true to your heart, and you tend to donate and support those organizations. And in turn, I mean, truly, it started off by the local community supporting us, and that's really how it started. We started the business here in Naugatuck, Connecticut, and as we started off as a small business and continued to grow, we had so much support from the local community, in Naugatuck and surrounding areas as well, and in Connecticut as well. And so it's only right to continue to keep passing it forward and sharing the love, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's great to hear. I mean, and yeah, and just like you said, yeah, you someone does something nice for, or, does something to you that inspires you or impacts you, and you try and do the same and a little more, and the next person tries to do a little more, and hopefully just over time, more and more people see that, and everybody's trying to give back in some form or fashion to help improve the lives of not just one organization, but all the organizations that are out there. So yeah, you're exactly right. It starts with one organization, it grows from there. So obviously, yeah, it sounds like you guys are doing a whole lot. You're integrated in these different boards and organizations you mentioned at the beginning of the conversation here today, and also you're partnering up with all these different organizations to help provide resources and help them grow their lives and just have a better day-to-day experience as they go through their lives. But switching gears here for a second, kind of talking a little bit still about giving back. Maybe tell a time about where maybe you guys went a little bit above and beyond your normal service work. Maybe you just saw there was a need deep down in your heart. You knew this service needed to be done, but maybe that particular individual didn't have the means to pay for it, or whatever it might be. Any stories about that where you just kind of went over and above and just did something because out of the goodness of your heart, you needed it to be done, and you wanted to make sure you were taking care of the people in your community?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, now post-pandemic, hopefully.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, during the pandemic, that was something that I would say that we tend to run in, quite a few times. There were a lot of people who unfortunately lost their jobs or were laid off, and they needed the service. They really, really needed the service. It was critical, to their health, and even some businesses as well. So we have had some customers, yes, who couldn't afford the service, and we would go out and service the property for them. And like I said, this was mainly during the pandemic time. Um, and we would take care of it for them at that time. And I tell you, most of those customers have have gotten back to us and continue to keep being customers and paying customers. So it comes back to you, and it is rewarding to be able to do that, especially when someone needs you and they say, hey, I lost my job, or this is what's going on. And like I said, obviously during COVID-19, it was pretty rampant. And so to be able to help them out and continue to keep that quality of life, for them, and provide that service, and they can rest stress free, because I think it was definitely a high stress area for everyone, or stress time, I should say, for everyone.
Absolutely.
Was one less thing they had to worry about, and they were so grateful and so appreciative for it. It's like I said, the reward to do things like that, and that's what we do. We provide a service, and the reward is the smile on a customer's face when they say they don't have a problem. But in this case, the smile and their appreciative notes and letters and phone calls and reviews are are worthwhile.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think in that situation, a little goes a long way there. Somebody, like you said, lost their job, can't afford the service. And rather than losing a lifetime customer, providing that service, even though, hey, you're running a business, you're trying to make a profit and those sorts of things. But, to them and the outside world, maybe, you're showing them, hey, that doesn't matter in this instance. Obviously you as a customer, and keep taking care of my community and the people around me is more important than that. And like you said, they're back, they're paying customers still. Maybe they even bring their friends and their families into the business as well. So,
Absolutely.
and obviously that's not what it's about. It's about doing the good deeds and things for people in your community. But, the reward, is also nice. And in the long run, because those people will remember those small little things that you go above and beyond. So, sounds like you guys are doing a whole lot in your community that has changed the lives of a lot of people. And again, I'm glad we're sharing those stories. Last topic here, King, before we wrap up the episode today. Obviously, like we've been talking about everything you're doing in the community. Well, let's kind of really mainly focus on your organization. You said you've been in the pest control industry for 22 years now. Been running this business for almost 10. What is some of the impact that you see that you're making on the people within your organization? What are some of the things that you're doing to provide those resources to not help them do a better job for you and make more money for the business, but to be better personally and professionally? Maybe equipping them with the tools to go off and start their own business one day. What are some of those things that you guys are doing for your employees?
Well, I think the most intangible part of giving back to your local community is that impact that it does, or it gives to your employees. And it creates a culture. It creates a culture that we have our values, and it helps create those values and that culture that you want, most organizations would want in their business. But you lead you lead by example. And so by us showing to our employees, hey, we care about our community, it's not just a business, it's more than a business. We're ingrained in this community, we care about our community, and this is therefore this is what we like to do. We like to give back time, or we like to give back money, or we like to sponsor, teams or things like that. You lead by example, and so therefore, our employees tend to follow the same path, and not only that, but they become inspired themselves. So you find that you may have an employee who goes out to a job and may go above and beyond because he feels that those core values from within our business saying, hey, listen, this is the right thing to do. It may not be the thing that you need to do. You may not be obligated to do it, but a sense of humanity and values, will guide you professionally and personally. And I, like I said, I think it's really, really inspired people and inspired our employees as well. And not only does that translate into their professional, setting, but also on a personal level as well. They go, things at their house or their neighbors. So I think there's a larger impact to helping out the community and volunteering and supporting your local community than just the monetary aspect of it, or the publicity or anything like that. It says a lot to people about who you are as an organization, to your customers, to your community, and to your employees as well. And I know that there are a lot of organizations who have been facing struggles as far as staffing and hiring and retention. And I can tell you that values that you run your company by are very, very important, but not just the values on the wall or on a plaque or on your website. It's also by what you do and leading by example. So simple things like that, giving back to your local community is going to have a positive impact on your culture, on your employee retention, on your employee hiring and recruiting process. And it's going to inspire them. It's going to inspire them to be a better professional. It's going to inspire them to be a better person. And therefore, I mean, it's great. It's great to be able to pass it on. And like I said, for me to be able to do this and have this impact not only on the local community, but on our employees and who they come in contact with, and maybe their kids and customers as well. I think is a blessing, and I feel very fortunate to be able to do something like this. And it's great. I just hope that we can continue to keep passing it on, and other organizations continue to keep making a positive impact on their local community as well, because it matters.
Absolutely. No, I think you're exactly right there. And on another episode that I did, they were saying that, culture is really the most important part in running a business. Having the right people there, and actually, like you said, doing what, you state the values are, or your culture is, because anybody can write anything on a website or a piece of paper, but, doing it and you following it to a T, is only going to make everybody below you want to be just like you, and aspire to, maybe everyone has aspirations of running their own business or being CEO one day. And so obviously, you leading by example and doing those things is only setting them up for success, not only now, but, hopefully maybe for the rest of their professional career. So, I think it's great what you're doing. You've been in the industry a very long time, and obviously you've gotten a lot from it. You've learned a lot. You partner with the right people, and you're only helping make it be even better for not only yourself and your employees, but everybody in your organization, whether it be a little league team or a chamber of commerce. You're plugging yourself into all these different avenues. So I'm sure everybody in your area is thankful for you and for your business. And I'm glad we were able to share your story today here on the Localpreneur Show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a pleasure to share my story. And like I said, I hope to continue to keep having a positive impact on not just our local community, but anyone we come in contact with, and be an inspiration and a role model, especially for the younger generation. I think that they have a lot more challenges than you might have in the past.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and we've just gone through some unprecedented times. So, if anything, I think now more than ever, our younger generation needs us to be able to guide them and lead them down the path that is, best suited for them. And, like I said, I'm just fortunate to be able to be in this position and to be able to have that impact and have that inspiration and motivation for them. And so, like I said, I mean, we're in the service industry, and that's part of who we are as a service industry is wanting to help out and protect people and public health. So it's very easy for us to transcend that into helping the local community and having a positive impact on our local community and inspiration to our local community. And it's awesome. I mean, it's great. It's great to see the face of the kids when they see us at a local police nights out and national night out, and they say, "Oh man, that's the technician that comes and services my house," or oh, I know kid, so and sometimes I think there can be some disconnect, where if you don't do those things, you don't, they almost don't see you as a human,
Right. Yep.
just they tend to look at you as just a company or a business, but instead of saying, "Hey, that's the guy from CT Pest Solutions," they say, "Hey, that's King,"
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it just gives a whole different perspective. Like you said, you're not just a company making money. You're somebody that's plugging yourself in, giving back, and people want to be associated with you, not because of the services you do, but because of the way that you give back.
Right, right. You build that connection. You definitely build that connection. So, it's great. And like I said, sometimes I think just being around and being part of it, having a younger generation say, "Hey, I see you here, or I see you here, and I know you guys donate here and you volunteer your time here, and you run a business, and how I like to do this, and I like to do that," and you get some questions, and it's great. It's great. Like I said, I definitely enjoy it, and we enjoy it as an organization, and it's who we are. And like I said, on a business standpoint, it definitely helps drive the culture. It makes a statement. It definitely makes a statement. It's not just value that you put on the wall or on a website, but it's what you do. It's what you do. And I'm a big believer that actions definitely speak louder than words. Even if you don't even have core values, don't even know what your core values are. Your core values are going to be dictated by your actions with your organization, in your organization, and outside your organization. So, for those businesses who are still trying to find who they are, think about, what you want to do and your impact that your organization wants to have on your community, and that'll help define your culture and define who you are. And like I said, it's I'm grateful and appreciative, and it's a pleasure to be able to do this and have this impact. And I'll be honest, 22 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, I never thought I'd be in a seat, and probably didn't even see myself as a leader.
Right.
And it's great. It's like I said, it's great to be able to in my experiences and tell my story and inspire other people to continue to keep paying it forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think everything you shared today, I mean, I can only tell, I'm down here in Texas, but I mean, I can tell that you guys are running a great organization. People are wanting to work with you. Again, not just for your services, but because of the things you guys are doing in your areas. And we can only hope that more home service companies across the U.S. and even the world, start to do some of the things that you guys are doing as well, and just kind of plugging themselves in. So, King, I'm glad we could share y'all's story today. Keep doing what you're doing, do even more. I know you probably have plans for that. But I'm glad we could share your story, and I'm glad we could have you here on the show today.
I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks again for listening to the Localpreneur Show. For more of our daily content, feel free to check out Josh or Austin's LinkedIn.